Hello, everyone.
everybody.
Hi,
Oh,
that's my job today. Hi, everyone.
What's your
Richard Carlton here. Margaret's trying to take over my job. Welcome to FMTrain.tv, where every day is an exciting day to be here. I've got some news and low-hanging fruit, and we got Todd Geist here. We don't want to keep him on ice too long. Real quick, for those of you who missed the memo, so it came up. So I sent this email out to like a whole bunch of people. When I say a whole bunch, I mean like everyone. And Claris is soliciting feedback on ETS. We've talked about this before. This is probably the third or fourth time I've talked about it. We sent an email out. Some people are like, oh my God, this is secret. The executive team at Claris discussed with them. They asked me to go out and ask for additional people to join the ETS program so they can get feedback on their AI server and also their standby failover server thingy. It's
Pretty
these are,
awesome.
yeah, they're new products. And they're in the phase where they want you to install it, try it out, and give them feedback. If you're interested in trying out they're actually going to end up being separate products, probably what it sounds like. But so we have the AI server, which is a separate standalone product. It's designed for on-prem. We've talked about this with Todd. Todd's in the middle of AI. Today's another AI day. The short version is that if you're working on super confidential stuff like your Apple and you're working on the iPhone 19 or 20 or something like that, which I'm sure Apple's working on, and they're discussing that, and they want AI to analyze the new features of the iPhone 19, right? You don't want that to be a public AI system that someone might be able to get into and get that data out of there. So you can run your own AI server. It has to be a giant piece of hardware. It's not inexpensive. This software, it's not really a software problem. It's an AI model that requires big hardware problem, and it's an expensive server, right, Todd? $9,000, $10,000,
Yeah.
something like that.
Well, you're probably gonna need to spend at least five, but 5 to 10 grand for an M3 Studio, the current best of the Claris ones, of the Apple ones. There's probably other vendors that have stuff that would work too, but I only really know about the Macs. But
Okay.
either way, you're gonna spend 5 grand, maybe 10 grand to get
So
something that's good enough to do the big like generate response from model stuff. The smaller things like the text embeddings and things like that can be much smaller machines. But for the beefy stuff like what we do with ProofChat, you're gonna need a big thing. The
what?
awesome thing about this AI server that they're offering is, or that they're doing, is now you can install this on a separate machine without FileMaker server on it, which is key because the first time they shipped this, they basically said, yeah, just install it on your FileMaker server. And Wim and I and a bunch of other people got together and said, can't do that. No bueno. So they are now making it so that you can install the AI server as a standalone, which is the way it should be. That is how you should do it.
Right.
It's fantastic.
Assuming that you have high security concerns, right? So once
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
I am not personally doing this. I mean, we're going to help test it for the benefit of Claris because they asked us to help test it. But I am the data that we're putting in there, like, scanning data and things like that. They're not like nuclear secrets and things like that I really, really, or Apple future product releases. So I'm not going to spend the money to run my own AI server and the overhead with that. But listen, FileMaker people, we're a lot of us can kind of get by with not a lot of hardware. Oh, I've got a FileMaker server for 5 people, and it's an i5 from 10 years ago, right? Kind of thing. And it's got 4 gigs of RAM and blah, 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 blah. And yeah, historically, we've been able to do what I would call premium level weasel. Premium weasel. It's where you're trying to weasel your way out of not spending money, right? The AI product here runs contrary to that. If you try to weasel, your weasel will die. It's going to
For
kill.
now, I mean, that's definitely true. Hopefully the models get smaller and, Apple's foundation models will get better and, or the other vendors will have better models that come on the OS and it'll make it easier to do this kind of stuff. But for right now, you got to spend the big dollars.
Yeah.
No way
So
around
so
it.
you have to decide that you want to do that. You're not gonna do it cheap. Now, the standby failover server, I haven't installed it yet. I am understanding it's a separate install.
It
Once it
is. Yeah,
Okay. And so the idea is that it's a warm failover. So if your
it is.
FileMaker server falls over, then you can initially it's not going to auto resuscitate itself. That's down the road. They're talking about that. But in the near term, like over the next 6 months, theoretically, this will be available. Then you go to that server and you say, emergency, press start. And it already has all the databases. It has the current snapshot and it comes back to life is the idea.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's badass. And so
Yep.
once again, if you want to play with it right now, you want to provide feedback, go to send an email to ets@claris.com and talk to them, and they will add you the program. They'll swear you that it's under non-disclosure. So once again, I am talking about it. I generally, just for your own preservation, would not say anything more than what we've said here because I have executive guidance on what we can and cannot say. So we don't have a ship date. It's not in market, but if you want to help Claris better understand this and make a better product, they could really use your feedback. So with that in mind, we're already kind of talking about AI stuff. So 2 weeks ago, Todd Geist came on the show and talked about ProofChat. Margaret, bring up the ProofChat website real quick. Let's talk about this real quick. This is big framing. Initially, we weren't going to have Todd here at all was the plan. The problem is that you run into little issues, and I don't have the hair to explain it to everyone about how to solve the problem. So we really need someone with the hair. It's shorter now, but it's still, a biblical grade hair to explain how this stuff works and how to make, if it doesn't work, what to do. And my goal and Margaret's goal is that we took what Todd kind of threw together at 900 miles an hour 2 weeks ago. We're doing it ourselves without the biblical grade hair. So normal humans, normal human understanding, not overly bright, right? If I can do it, then the rest of you can do it. Todd is here to be quiet and not to pass judgment. Richard sucks. I could do that in 1/4 of the time. Yeah, go in the corner and be quiet.
I'm just going to sit here and play my ukulele.
Play your ukulele. Yeah. We'll keep it quiet. So, but the point is that having biblical backup on hot standby, and I'm just saying, having the guy who created it, it's really nice. So with that in mind, we started with a brand new copy starting point. My intent is that as soon as we have this done, either today or probably tomorrow, there's 2 days of this, we're walking through the step-by-step of building this together. Margaret, do we still want to rebuild it, or do we want to kind of walk people through what we did?
Do you want to, you have access to your machine, right? Do you want to go grab your Excalibur and then cover briefly?
Mine? Oh, yes, I can. We can do that.
Also, because you got clarification on MCPs that other people probably need that you wrote down on that, so that would not be a bad discussion
let me go and get that real quick. So yeah, so the idea is that we took a base copy of Starting Point and we want to give it to everyone. We want Starting Point to come with some AI stuff built into it that you don't have to build it. But if you see how we build it, it's not that hard. It's just tedious. And I made a lot of notes about how Claris should have made our lives better. And they've been working on it, and they still haven't given us the less tedious way of moving code from point A to point B. So Margaret was working on it last night. I was having a tantrum on Excel-a-Draw. And so let me run over there and get that. But Margaret, if you want to kind of so we're going to start from the beginning then. Margaret, you want to get a fresh copy of Starting Point?
No, I don't think you should. They'll take let's just walk through the steps. We're at a good spot, I think, where you are.
Okay, then let me grab this real quick. Do we want to answer any questions immediately while I grab this stuff off the computer?
How is this different from MCP? Like, how are tools different from MCP, like the way that ProofChat interacts with
Did someone actually ask that question?
No, I'm just talking about the discussion that we should have, like a good hostess.
Yeah, so here's the deal. The thing you got to know about AIs and FileMaker is you need to give them tools. So you need to give the AI tools. These are basically functions that they can use to call. They either get information or to take action on your behalf, right? So the term that's used in the broader industry is a tool. Tool, tool. Give them tools. So there are 2 ways to do it. There's the old way, the original way, which we're going to see here in ProofChat, which is you basically configure the tools right into the chat application itself. And that's what you can do with ProofChat.
Yes.
And if you click on that tools button right there at the top or that one, either way.
There we go. I was having a moment where it wasn't processing what I was doing.
Yeah. So if you click on that, or you go into settings and click on tools, you can see the tools that we've already configured.
Chat opening. I'm going to click tools.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and you can click manage tools from there. You can see. So there's a few tools that we give you out of the box that are already in place. And so these are configured directly into the chat itself. So the chat has it embedded in its code. And in the key thing about tools in the FileMaker lingo is that a tool is basically a script. It could also be a query using a data API or something like that, but the simple thing to think about is that it's a script. You're gonna write some custom code to do either a query you want to do and return some results back to the chat so that it can use those results in the conversation it's having with you, or it can do something like we showed, creating a new contact, before, right? So that's old style tools. And then about I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, Anthropic came out with this thing called MCP, Model Context Protocol. And the Model Context Protocol is a way to give tools to a chat client like Claude Code, like Claude Desktop, or now also ChatGPT supports it as well. And this is a way for you to basically have tools that are configured and set up to run on another server, like a FileMaker server, and then you can connect it to your Claude Code or your Claude Desktop chat or your ChatGPT desktop app. And that's doing the same thing. It's providing tools to that chat. But in that case, the tools live on another server. They live somewhere else. And so we have released AutoFMS now ships with the ability to make MCP servers, which means you can configure tools, you can configure scripts as tools and bring them into Claude Desktop or ChatGPT or any other MCP client. We showed this last time, a little bit of this last time with N8N and stuff. And so that's sort of that's the second way of giving tools to AI chats like this.
So what is a tool? Let's talk about tool. That diagram, Margaret, got eaten on the computer, so I am not sure where it's at.
So a tool is essentially like you would think about like a toolbox, like it's the stuff that's in your toolbox. It can either get information for you or it can do things for you, right? That's what it is.
So a script. So in the world of FileMaker,
it's a script.
It could be a script that does something like
it's a script, yeah.
Do something.
In the FileMaker script steps can use the generate response from model has a few built-in tools that it can use. When you tick on the box that says agentic mode, it'll do this kind of stuff for you, and it will call custom functions. So that's another kind of tool in the FileMaker realm. ProofChat uses scripts instead of custom functions because custom functions are nice, but they're kind of limited in what you can do, right? So we want to run scripts, so we're using scripts to be the tools. And I'm pretty sure the plan is that the built-in the generate response from model will eventually have the ability to use to run scripts itself. ProofChat kind of has that built in, and we did some tricks to make that work. But eventually, that'll become more a base of the a base feature of the or a feature of the base feature set.
Okay, so let's talk
about. I have
a
tool related question actually.
Okay, go.
If I pop open manage database, I mean script workspace, Command Shift S. Sorry. Oh, right. You can't open both at the same time for some godforsaken reason. Okay. If I go back down into the ProofChat scripts, there's something that is called parameters. And I know what a parameter is in FileMaker. I know what a parameter is for AI in the sense of like AI models built up of parameters. But what does it mean to add parameters in this particular case?
Yeah, so if you look at built-in tools there and pick the, which one should we pick? Pick the top one.
Query database?
Yeah. Okay. So you can see it comes in, the first step in a tool is the get script parameter. Right? So, and then it gets two things. It parses out the user question and the display format. Okay.
Yes.
So that's what's in the script. So now let's go back to the chat and we'll look at how that's configured as a tool in the chat. So if you under actions and the get and the query database one, the third one at the bottom, pick the bottom one.
Well, yep.
And pick edit. And then look at the parameters option there. You can see those two things are configured there. And so that's how you connect the dots, right? So what you configure in parameters get passed to the script as a script parameter.
Okay.
And what this does is when you're filling out your parameters here, you are basically teaching the model what things it needs to give to the script. And because the AIs are pretty good at that, like you give it some rules like, hey, I need a display format. And if you pop open that display format, you'll see it's got a little prompt like the preferred display format for the results, right? So you're basically giving the LLM the rules to say like, look for something that's a display format in what the user asks for. And this is how you should decide what a display format is. And when you find one, pass it over to the script, and then you get the same thing for the user question, does the same thing. And so when you're writing a script for your custom tools that you're going to write, you're going to think about, okay, what do I need to give to this script? And you're going to come in here, and this is a built-in one, so you can't configure it. But when you write your own tools, you get to decide, like, hey, I'm writing a new contact tool, so I need to put a first name in, a last name. I need to tell it what it is, all that kind of stuff.
Got it. So, okay. So for the new contact, you'd say it needs to have a first name and a last name, even if it doesn't have anything else.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you can give it optional ones too. And then you can see you got a checkbox for required there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can make it required. And so the models are pretty good at, given a set of rules, it's pretty good at parsing out from the text, right? You don't have to write like a bunch of text parsing stuff. The LLMs are really good at that kind of pattern matching and just like ripping out the stuff it needs. And so that's a tool. And for tools, you need parameters.
Got it.
And this interface creates the UI for you. And then if you look at tool schema, the last one over there, this is what actually gets fed to the model. So this is how you teach the model, hey, pull this stuff out. Pull this data out of the text. And that's what we're going to pass to the script.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense, actually, because I remember sifting through, like, okay, what do you mean you need parameters? I spent a lot of time playing the chat agent script over and over again, so I would understand what it was actually, or try to understand what was actually happening. I'm spacing briefly. So when you go through and edit and add tools, the things that you would edit in this script for ProofChat, if you wanted to customize it, you would edit instructions, right? Like the actual initial prompt that you send to the. Is there a UI for that in ProofChat yet, or do I have to go to the script?
So if you want to edit the instructions or the system prompt, we have some configuration scripts that you can use.
Okay.
So in the AI, we actually in the docs we have a description of the configuration scripts that you can run, but they're all in a folder that's in that you got imported here.
Yes.
In the
is it ProofChat integration?
Yes.
Configuration? Okay.
Configuration. You have required ones, and these are the two that you missed so far. And then here are the optional ones.
Okay.
Right?
So.
Yeah. And so this is one that we have to do. This is why you're getting that error that you're getting. You can show the people the error you're getting.
Yes.
Or not really an error, but it's like, I don't know. You didn't tell me what's in here.
Yeah, I tried to make it. I thought I had like completed my integration. I was like, please generate me 10 random records because there's no data in the sample database. And it's like, I got nothing.
You got nothing because it doesn't know anything about what's in your database. So we gotta do a bunch of things, and then we're gonna have to write the tools to do the create contacts and all that stuff, right? So because ProofChat is pretty smart, but it doesn't know anything about your schema until you start to teach it. And then, so with the query tool uses the DDL, this configure that we're about to do here. This is how you teach it about the schema, and the query tool uses that knowledge about the schema. So it's going to generate SQL queries. It's going to do all that kind of stuff. If you need to do more than just like, hey, like look up stuff or generate, SQL queries for me and run them and show me a little table or a chart or whatever, that's when you need to write a script. So if you want to edit anything in your database, you got to write a script. There's no other way, right? Because we have to teach it specifically how to create a contact in your database, for example.
Well, Margaret, do you want to bring up the docs real quick for Proof Guys? Because we're ProofChat, correction. And just tell people how we got to where we're at. So spend 2 or 3 minutes, 5 minutes walking through how we got to where we're at and why you're stuck.
Okay, cool.
So let's talk about that real quick. So getting started up front, let me just say, and I confirmed this with Todd, you're going to need get a ProofChat account. There's a free account you can have. There's a paid upgrades down the road you can get, but for now it's a free account. You get it, you set it up. There'll always be a free tier. Okay,
that's right.
That's my understanding.
That's right.
The other thing that you're going to need, so that's free. The other thing you're going to need is we're using OpenAI. I'm just saying use OpenAI, and people say it's free. Buy a minimum amount and put like 20, 30, 50, $100 on your account. because we had all sorts of errors and all sorts of problems. And as soon as we gave it a paid account, even though it's only charging us a penny or 2 pennies, all the problems went away that we had.
Yeah.
So
OpenAI's free accounts, they are very limited. So you're going to run out of the stuff. So you just put a credit card in, put some money on it, give it a limit. It's not going to cost you very much. And you don't really need to worry about cost. It's not really an issue with OpenAI.
It's not really your time,
especially if you're not using GPT-5. The 4-level models are inexpensive. They're really not that expensive. So then once you have that, you're not going to get these like you're out of credits, you're out of errors, which you'll get.
It was funny. The thing I was trying to ask it to do was so intensive. It straight up told me we're not going to let you do this at all. So I was trying to ask it to get to create a contact, and it was like, nope. That is too smart for me at the level of zero money that you have.
Yeah. So you're going to get the licenses, and then we download the ProofChat app. Downloads a zip file, pops open. When it pops open, Margaret, you want to show what that looks like?
There is an FMP12 file and 2 little ready thingies, I believe, a README.
2 little ready thingies, one of which is the license, which you should read.
Yes.
And the other is the README.
Yes.
And the README, hopefully, that should just open in a text file.
You would think. Boop. Okay.
So yeah, there's all this stuff here, and you can read through it. But the point is, 2 licenses, then download this, Margaret. Then the next step was to start going through their documentation and moving the stuff over.
Yes, and the documentation is very detailed. Thank you, which is nice. You can a recommendation to go exploring and actually see how it works, which is not a bad idea. And then you begin to directly integrate it.
And that's what we were doing, correct? Now, the goal is we're going to do this. We're going to get this dialed for all of you. But the point is we started from scratch again last night. And we ran into problems. So we're still learning it with all of you. But the goal is that if your instructors can learn it and make it easier, then that'll make your learning smoother, I guess, to a degree.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially if I grow my hair out to biblical lengths. That would
not going to happen.
Not going to happen. So you went through the part of moving things up. Yeah, here's what we got.
Yeah, the integration.
So this part right here, you're going to want to. You shouldn't drink while you do this, but you're going to want to because the copying this stuff from point A to point B.
This is the thing we've been doing for 25 years, copying code from file to file.
Yes.
Blah blah blah. Yuck yuck yuck.
And it still sucks.
It still sucks, but we're going to have an add-on. We'll have an add-on in another month or so, which we'll get. Which you'll be able to skip all this copy and paste stuff. Yes. And you go right to the add open AI chat button, and they'll skip.
It'll also be integrated into FMSP. So if you have a fresh floofy file that you want to work with, you can use that.
Okay, so you did this copy paste stuff, right, Margaret?
Yes, we did all. I did all of this. I did the copied. I imported all the basic records you need and all that jazz.
Did you copy the scripts over?
Yes, everything's copied. I literally just forgot to do the DDL bit, which is the.
Well, you got down to configure scripts. I don't think you did all the config.
So let's go down to configure.
It's on the left. You can see it's after AI accounts and models.
Configure scripts way down there, Dana. Down.
Oh, left.
Yeah, you got right. You got right to there, and I don't think you did this.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so this is where we have. Did you create an account for it or AI account model?
Yeah, she's already got a key in there. That's
already got a key, so we're all set. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So DDL extraction syncs DDL metadata used by ProofChat. So you have scripts that we brought a bunch of scripts over, so we already have a DDL script. We have to edit the script. Is that?
That's right. Yep. Okay, if you click on the DDL extraction link, it'll tell you exactly what to do and show you a picture.
Okay.
So hopefully it'll give you all the deets you need. But if you pop over to Starting Point, I can walk you through it real quick as well.
Okay, we're going to do it. So everyone, hopefully people online, I'm going to watch Discord for you, Margaret, I guess. That'd be helpful. If people have questions, because Margaret's driving a lot of this, so
you're going to be helpful?
Thank you, Todd. I will attempt to be helpful. An attempt was made.
Here's what happens. AI has a lot of subtle impacts. People's whole lives change, and they become helpful. It's amazing.
You guys are tough audience.
Richard, let me tell you,
I
love coming on here because, frankly, you're really good at taking a ribbing It's fantastic.
It
Like
didn't used to. It
you
didn't
don't
used to be that
you don't
way. I
get
don't know.
upset. You just roll with it. You
Well,
laugh.
because I don't
Plus
have the
your-
hair. If
Plus
I
your
actually
daughter
thought,
laughs like crazy, and it's just
oh
like
yeah, no,
it just spurs me on to keep going. Like it's like a built-in laugh track. It's
it's
phenomenal.
like
I love it.
yeah,
All right.
okay.
Okay. With that being said, what am I fixing here,
I
Todd?
feel like I'm the funniest guy on the planet. Okay. So in the instructions, it tells you what to do. But basically, what you want to do is, if you read through this, so what we're doing is it says we're performing SQL query, but actually, if you read a little bit further in, the only thing we're getting is under the action, it says get DDL. That's the only thing we really want here is the
Okay.
DDL, right? And so so that's been selected, get
hmm
DDL, and then
hmm
it says data tables from list and then tables dot dot dot. So you need to
Ah,
click on that and you need to pick the tables. Remember, we went through this. We went through this a bit because we did this last time. We went through and we picked like the 4 or 5 tables you wanted to use. And you're going to want to
yes.
use your base tables. You probably want to make sure context. I think you're going to write some
Yeah.
contact stuff.
Yes.
I don't think you need contact. I don't think you'll need 2 contacts. You only really need 1,
Okay. Do you
right?
need
Because
any of the related tables or no?
I don't know. I mean, it depends on what you're going to ask the thing. Like that's something I probably can't answer for you quickly here easily.
That makes sense.
But I think just to keep the thing moving along, we'll pick a few tables that we
Yeah.
know we're going to use. I think,
Contacts, accounts, notes, I think that's probably pretty good. Estimates maybe, and that should be
yeah, you can
fine.
pick estimate. I think we did invoices last time, something like that. Blah blah.
Mm-hmm. Hit
Um,
okay.
right, and then so that now says, hey, ProofChat, these are the tables I want you to use.
Okay.
So that's it. So we've done that step. And if you go back to the docs, the next step is going to say, what does the next step say?
Navigation script hooks.
Navigation scripts and hooks, right? So this is when you get results back
Mm-hmm.
from ProofChat, sometimes it gives you a button to link back to the FileMaker database. And so that's the script that runs this. This is called navigation
Oh,
script hooks.
okay. Got it.
Yeah. And so this one, you go through and for each of the tables that we just selected,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to tell it what layout you want it to use, kind of thing.
Got it.
And again, the
Okay.
instructions are pretty detailed, but it basically comes down to edit. Like I have edit here, basically that one. You're going to pop that open and change it. So when table name is, notes, go to this layout. When table name is
Yes.
contacts, go to this layout, kind of thing. We don't probably need to do that right now. I
Okay.
don't think, but that's when you see if we click a button in the UI and it comes back with I don't know what to do with this because you didn't configure this. This is the script where you would go do that.
Got it. So this is where it actually knows which specific layouts to navigate to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is when I click a button in the chat that wants to go back to FileMaker, we have to kind of tell it, well, which thing do you want me to go to?
Okay. Got it.
If I'm clicking on a contact, well, what layout should I use for contact?
Got
Right?
it. Okay.
That's that. So we can probably skip that for now, and we'll come back to it if we need to.
Yes.
And then if you go back to
Oh,
the
whoops, sorry.
instructions,
Let me go back to the instructions. Yep.
system prompt. Okay, so those are all the configuration scripts, but these are not required. There's nothing really to do here.
No, but this is where people are looking for I need to react in a specific way. Like for example, I
I
wanted
want
it
it to be nicer or to call me Richard or Rick.
Galactic Overlord is my
Yeah,
type.
yeah,
So
that kind of
yeah.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we can add that. I can
Yeah,
add
yeah. Why
Galactic
don't you add that?
Overlord.
Tell you shall address me as Galactic Overlord.
Okay, this is nice
Always
and
call
large.
me Galactic Overlord. Put it right up at the top.
Yeah,
Okay.
put that at the top. That's a really important one.
Always call me Galactic Overlord.
Put it in quotes. I don't know if that. Will that
I don't
be
know.
any
We'll see
quotes
if that
in there?
works.
Put it
We'll
in
see
quotes.
Give
if
it a
that
try.
works.
Okay.
Okay, command
So, but
save.
let me stop here. This is an important
Mhm.
thing. So,
Yes.
so one of my guiding principles when I build tools like this is, because the question's going to come up. Well, I want my prompt to be this under these conditions and that under this condition. And on Tuesday, I want it to do this. And on Thursday, it needs to call me, the king of rock and roll or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So that's all conditional dynamic stuff that is up to the developer to figure out how to do. So I could give you some goofy UI where you could try to describe that, or I could say, hey man, you're a FileMaker dev, write a script. And so that's what this is a script. So however you want to construct this prompt, it's up to you. Do whatever you want. And that's another important thing. Inside of, if you close that window for a second
Mm-hmm.
and you go to where it says ProofChat integration, this folder, ProofChat integration, which we're
Yes.
all inside of. Once you put this into your file, this is your folder. You are free to change anything in here as
Mm-hmm.
long as you don't change the names of the scripts, because ProofChat, the other folder, is going to
Mm-hmm.
call scripts in here by name. But you can change anything you want in these
Got it.
because you're a
Okay.
FileMaker dev. You should be able to come up with whatever logic you need to decide what the system prompt should be. Should
Mm-hmm.
be up to you. Do it. Have at it. Go to town. Have a party.
Okay.
You can do it.
I have some questions about prompting.
Okay.
So basic question about prompting. Is there like any specific, I saw someone was like, is there a way that you should specifically construct prompts so the AI always understands, or can you just write a stream of
Yes, there
consciousness?
is.
Okay.
What I can tell you, what I typically do to write prompts is, I mean, you can Google and read some stuff about how to write prompts, and I
Mm-hmm.
recommend you do that. But
Mm-hmm.
what I typically do is I open up ChatGPT or Claude,
Okay.
and I say, hey, ChatGPT or Claude, or you can do it in ProofChat too, actually. And you can say, hey, I have to write a prompt. It's
Okay.
for a chat agent, and here are the things that I make a new thread so we don't have any of this other
Okay.
junk in it.
Yes. Yes.
Say, I need to write a prompt for my new chat agent. And there's a couple things that I think are really important. One, it has to refer to me as Galactic Overlord. And then you just tell whatever you want. Put any rules you want, come up with anything you want, and describe the kind of things that you want it to be. Do you want it to be nice? Do you want it to be nasty? Blah, blah, blah. And then you just tell it to write the prompt for you. And it's going to write you a pretty decent prompt. Well, so you won't need, okay, this is a good point. Tools, when you want to write a prompt for a tool, you don't need to write the prompts for the tools in here.
Okay.
The prompts for the tools are written when you configure them. That is in fact what you are doing when you are configuring those tools. You
Got
are
it.
writing the
Okay.
prompts for those tools. They will get automatically added. The
Okay.
system prompt is more like the general, always refer to me as Galactic Overlord.
Okay.
Remind me that I have to fly to Montana on whatever goofy rules you want to put in there. You can do all that stuff. Your favorite color is orange, whatever. You can describe however you want the thing to behave, and then you just say, write me a prompt for that, and it will write you a prompt, and then you can put that in. Right. So the
Okay.
first rule of writing prompts is have AIs write prompts for you. It'll get you started. Save all there. Yeah, just
Yep.
save
I
all.
had save all.
The first rule of Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club. So
Yeah, basically same thing. There you go.
Okay.
So that's how you do it. That's
Got
how you
it.
do it.
Okay. So that makes
Okay?
that simpler. Okay.
Yeah, so that's a system. That's what's called. Actually, it used to be called system prompt. It's still sometimes you'll see it called prompt or system prompt.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, what you see more commonly now is instructions. You'll see it called, and that's actually what FileMaker calls it in the generate response from model script
Okay.
step options. The prompt is under instructions, but it used to be called prompt. I don't know why the AI people decided to call it instructions instead of prompt, but that's what it is.
Okay. So we're
Okay.
well, they're all trying to find out what words they like best for whatever they're doing. Okay. Got it.
Yes. So the other thing
So,
that you have to do once you configure the DDL is you do need to do schema labeling, which is the last step down there.
okay.
And this is the part where you go through and within the tables that you selected, you put in the comments, you say LLM in brackets, first name, and you do all that stuff.
Okay, let me close this and then we're gonna go. Cool. Fields, actually tables.
on the instructions, we put those in the script though, right, Margaret? Or it helps you write it, then you stick it in the script. Is that what we
Yeah,
do?
that's right. You copy and paste it and put it in there, or you write
Yes.
whatever conditional logic. Like on Monday, be Galactic Overlord.
Okay.
If any other day of the week, don't use that prompt. Use the default, right? Whatever.
Okay.
If you look at that script, basically you just have one job: exit with the prompt.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
So for the tool stuff, would you include anything about the tools in the instructions or system prompt or whatever?
You can actually, and if you look at the prompt that's in there, you'll
Mm-hmm.
see that it's going to have, you can kind of peel that apart. You can see this is a pretty good prompt, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We tried a bunch of different things,
Link
and
formatting.
so typically what I do is yeah, like so there's a decision tree for tools, right? And so what you can do is if your instructions are not giving you the results you want, what I do is I go back to Claude and I say, here's the prompt I have. Here's what I'm finding. It's not calling tools.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you think? Analyze this prompt and tell me where it's weak. And it'll go, hey, man, you should put a tool decision tree in here. And then I go, great, update the prompt, write me a new prompt. And it says, here you go. And I copy that and I paste it back in. And I go around that cycle a few times. And then you get, you eventually dial in on a decent prompt. And you can ask the other AI, you can ask the AI to like, to analyze the prompt you've written and say, and actually this is really good because even if you tell it to write a prompt, it's a
Mm-hmm.
good idea to say afterwards, like, okay, but now, like, is that a good prompt? Like, really take a second look at it. The AIs are pretty good, actually, really good at like looking at what they wrote and then deciding whether or not they did a good job. And they might be like, well, I don't know, this kind of sucked. Let's change that. So those are all good things you can do.
Okay.
All
Is
right, so
this
we
a
do
good
have
prompt?
comments going on. Tim McGibbon just said for schema labeling, if I had other notes, can they be there and put the LLM tag after those notes followed by the info needed for the LLM? Question mark.
Yeah. So when you're schema labeling, there are two tasks that are part of schema labeling. One is you want to restrict the number of fields that the tool knows about. You don't want to put
Mm-hmm.
everything in there. It's a bad idea for lots of reasons. So by putting LLM, by doing that much, you've told it, I want this field. And once you put it in one field in the table, that's the only, you have to label all the fields you want. If you picked this table and you put no LLM tag anywhere in there, it's going to include all the fields, which is no bueno, right?
Okay.
So you want to put
Okay.
in, every table that you're using, you want to label at least one field. And then so you put the LLM thing in brackets, that does that part. The second thing
Yeah,
you want to
name, right?
do is if the field name is not very descriptive
Mhm.
or it's like a strange format, a good one is like, let's say it's a social security number.
Mm.
Okay.
You might want to put in that this is the format that's in there. Like, and you can say, for example, this is what it looks like, or a phone number that looks like this, or a zip code that looks like this. You can give it examples, and that helps it know what the shape of the data that's in there, and then it can use that as part of its analysis when it's figuring out what to do.
All right, Margaret, keep going. You're doing great. Dave Angel says, with MCP, you use a simple language instructions? Question mark.
They're always yes. So usually when you're configuring tools like we have here, or even if you're configuring tools with our MCP server that's an auto FMS, like we've given you a UI where basically you're just writing in English what you want, and then you have to pick like a first name. It needs to be a string, so you're going to give it a type, and then you're going to describe that first name. Behind the scenes, we turn that into a JSON schema, and that's what goes to the model, right? But so eventually, the model, whether it's an MCP server tool or a tool that's built in here, the model is going to take this JSON schema blah. But that's kind of a pain to write, so we'd rather just give you a form to fill out. So that's what's happening there.
Okay. So when we're describing things in like the schema, like do you keep it short? Should he be
Sure,
super detailed?
you don't want to put in too much, just enough. And so like, um, a good rule of thumb is like if the field name is descriptive, like name first, that's probably good enough. Like it knows that, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you have a field, like one of the common fields that sometimes you see in financial data is a period, which is a month, and it's
Mm-hmm.
usually the year, 4-digit year, and then a 2-digit month.
Mm-hmm.
So if period is in there, that's not very descriptive. Like you're not sure what the LMs may or may not know that. So you might say like, this is formatted year, 4-digit year with a 2-digit month, for example, and then you give it some examples. But if the name is descriptive, if the field name is descriptive, that's all you really need. It's only
Interesting.
when the field name is weird or maybe you're getting, it's not for whatever reason, the model's weak on this particular thing. And so you may want to give it a hint. You realize it's not picking it up right. It doesn't figure out what's in that field. Give it a hint. But in general, you want to keep the amount of your context should be as the prompting that you give
Mm-hmm.
should be as short as it can be to work, which is a kind of very vague, I understand, but that's going to depend. It's going to depend on, different models have different context windows, which basically means they have different amounts of context that they can handle. So for some models, you might want to use less than for other models. So that's why, in general, it's good to use as simple as you can do it. But if it's not doing something, you may need to add more to your prompting.
Okay. Do you usually want to include examples? Like I included an example
Examples
here.
are really good, again, if it helps to clarify what otherwise is a vague term, or if the format might be weird.
What about
So,
email, Margaret? If you're doing
Oh,
them,
sorry.
go ahead, keep going, Todd.
so date, for example, dates, LLMs, dates could be good to show an example because an LLM might get confused between European, standard dates, which are, it's not just European versus US. The international standard for dates is year first, right? So if it's a date, you may want to say like US date, or here's an example, because that'll help it know what the format is.
All right, we're going to do it right now.
Okay, so the format would be US format.
Yeah, and you
So,
might give it an example, right?
which I'm immediately spacing what the US format is. Amazing.
Well, it's
Month,
pretty much anything as long as you do month, day, year.
year.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. 04, 20. I guess I should say month. Oh, I see. Month, date, year.
There you go.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah,
it
you
took
could
me
do
a
that,
second.
or actually MD one. You could also give it a specific example. You could
Okay,
also do. They seem to be pretty good at picking up on MD and Y.
interesting.
Yeah,
Okay. Or January 12th, 2025.
yeah.
Okay, change. Cool. Interesting. Okay, and then we somehow still have a fax, but I think most people probably don't. I think that's probably like the basics for it. Is there any reason to give it an ID contact?
No, good. Well,
Um,
that's a primary key, Margaret, I think.
I know I'm thinking like when you're bouncing between like relationships, you'd be using FileMaker scripts, not the
yeah. So
LLM.
the DDL actually can pick up the primary keys pretty good.
Okay.
So just the DDL itself will pick up the primary keys. But if
Mm-hmm.
you have, and it does a pretty good job of trying to match foreign keys.
Mm-hmm.
But if for some reason it's not picking it up, you can identify. You could say this is the foreign key to this table, this is the primary key, and that
Got it.
would help.
Okay. Primary key.
Yeah,
Cool. And it understands like relational databases, so I don't need to tell it anything
it does.
more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the DDL that's being generated by FileMaker is a SQL database format, which the LLMs understand pretty well.
There you go. Okay. It's gonna process that a little bit. Okay. I don't think it can still create contacts because I haven't made a script for
No,
that
you haven't
yet.
made a create contact tool, so it can't do
No.
that.
I could probably just go rip that out of the one that we made last time, so we don't go very slow.
You could.
So
Yeah.
we could do that real fast.
Can I ask a question? How are we doing? If people, I know this is somewhat repetitive, but there's a lot of really new stuff, new concepts, and you're seeing Margaret, who's actually got this working, and she started doing it again from scratch last night. The goal is Margaret's going to get to the business card today and then, make some adjustments. That would be my hope, but that might, we'll see how it goes. But
We'll have
You're
that.
gonna have to copy it. If you copy
Yeah,
it,
no,
you can do it.
yeah, I'm about to say if we're gonna do that today, then I am copying the crap out of that.
well, then maybe
what
that
database
slides
is it
tomorrow
on?
because we have the finishes tomorrow. But yeah, I'm looking for.
Database.
I'm not watching YouTube or Discord or Twitch right now. I'm watching Discord, everyone. So if you have a comment, let me know in here. As long as you're not Eric.
All right,
Eric's watching you, Todd.
I have to get not confused because they look similar. Okay.
Eric, yeah, he's always sneaking around. So you probably called it something beginning with tool. So search for tool.
Yes, tool.
There you go. Copy that. Copy that whole script. There you go.
Actually, I'll just copy the thing. Yep, there we go.
Yeah.
This is the correct. Yeah, this is okay.
So what are we copying right here?
I
Insert?
copied the create contact script. I wouldn't want to put it in here, right? I'd
No,
want to
you would not. You would want to put it in your ProofChat integration folder or somewhere else that belongs to
custom
you.
tool examples. Or
There
just
you go. You could put it in there. You could do it. You could do it anywhere
okay.
because you own this folder, so it's really up to you.
Got it. Speaking of which, I assume we don't really want to touch anything inside the ProofChat
No,
folder.
when I
Like, that
give you
should be
instructions to
banned?
update scripts, they'll be in there.
Got it. Okay.
And that's it. Yeah. You're welcome to look around in there and
Hey,
learn
so
from
Margaret,
it.
you copied the script from where and you're sticking it where? I missed that because
So so Todd had initially created last week the basics of the contact tool shenanigan, which we still have to copy other bits of it.
okay.
And then I went through the script and I added stuff to it. Like I added what variables I wanted to be put out, and then I also
Mhm.
had it jump relationships
Mhm.
and add
Oh.
by grabbing,
Yeah.
basic grab the contact ID,
Mhm.
attach a note to it so it could
There you go.
Oh,
Perfect.
yeah, there we
Exactly.
go. Perfect.
collect all the
Exactly.
eclectic information that
So everyone, this is a script, but it's in common parlance. This is a tool,
That's right.
which
That's right.
could be in an MCP server, but we're putting it in here
That's right.
instead.
Yeah.
Are
When-
we
if-
everyone clear on that? That's
the
a
fun
super
part
important-
the fun part is that if you have auto FMS on your machine, your latest version on your server, you can go and create an MCP server and point at this exact same script and describe the same parameters, and it will work there. Well, no, this one won't because it's got a card window. The MCP servers, that's one of the nice things about these internal tools is you can use a card window. If an MCP server is out and like connected to Claude, you can't do that. But you might have a script which just generates the contact and doesn't show a card window. But in this case, we're doing that. So that wouldn't work for an MCP server tool because the MCP server is on a different machine somewhere else. It's way
Got
over
it.
there, right?
Got it. So it's card windows specifically. Got it. So
Yeah,
any
if you
regular
want the
windows would be
user,
fine.
so this is called, so there's a specific type of tool where the human has to do something, and this is called a human in the loop tool.
Okay.
So the
Got it.
human has to say, yeah, do that, or fix this, or whatever. Human in the loop.
And Margaret and I were talking about that. We're doing this business card thing, and normally, if it doesn't need our input, I don't want it to bother me. It just does it. Just go, go, go.
So
But-
you could get rid of the card window part and just have it go to the layout, create the records, and be done. You could do that.
Yes.
I like the tool. We use the card window in the demos because it makes, again, a very important point here. This is just a FileMaker script.
Yes.
Inside of this script, there is no AI.
Yes.
There's nothing new for you, FileMaker developer, to learn in this script. This script is just taking some JSON, wherever it comes from. In this case, it comes from the AI, but it could come from a web app. It could come from anywhere. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's doing FileMaker things. And then it's exiting with the result of the thing. And that's it. Right?
Yeah, I had a
So-
funny realization when I was building this the other day because I was like, how do I get the AI to recognize that a relationship exists so I can dump information in another table related to the contact? I'm like, wait, I don't have to tell the AI to do that. I can just write the script to do that.
That's
in
exactly
FileMaker.
right. Very important. There's a very important insight here because what the scripts give you is the ability to say, do it exactly this way.
Mhm.
Because I don't care how good your prompting is, it's not going to get things, right? So when you need something to go exactly this way, then you write a script which does it exactly that way. And then you configure your script so that the AI knows to call your script when you want it to do task whatever, right? Create a new contact, email your accountant, schedule a haircut, whatever it is. You want to write a script for that.
All right, Margaret. So where are we at with this right now?
So I've copied the script, but that's only part of the copying, right? Don't I have to actually also go create the tool in ProofChat?
You do. Now you have to configure this script. Now you have to teach ProofChat that this script exists and what it needs.
Okay, so I would go to tools, I reckon, and then manage tools. Yes.
Yes.
Add tool. Cool. Tool name.
So typically these are, and for whatever reason, the AIs don't like spaces and names. So do, create contact, create _ contact.
Yep. Okay.
And it should be descriptive. So because the tools, you are now writing a prompt for the AI to use this tool. So you should say something like, use this tool whenever the user asks you to create a contact, something like that.
Okay.
And then you have to give it the script name.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay. The exact script name. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and go copy that.
That's what I do. Copy it.
Where is
It's
it?
up a little bit. You were in
There we
almost.
go.
There you go.
Yep, there we go. Command copy. Boop. And then tool is enabled. Will be available for use in chat.
You can also disable it because for some chats, you might want to turn off certain tools because you don't want the thing to get confused. Like you can configure 100 tools. That would be too many. The chat would have trouble with that. So,
okay.
Yeah.
How many tools before it begins to like detonate?
Yeah, it depends on the model. It's not a hard rule, but there, and I can show you that there is a way that you can dynamically turn tools on and off, which we could get to. But let's move on with the process here, which is now you're going to go to parameters.
Okay.
So now you probably want your script up off to the right so you can look at it.
Yes. Okay.
So you're going to want your script so you can see all the parameters there that it's copying out, right? So scroll down a little bit.
Give me a second. You don't see your face, but I have your face shining at me, and I need to put it in a different corner. Okay. So
there you go.
These are the parameters. Okay.
So, wait a second. What's
or am I scrolling
up there you go. That's what I was looking for.
Got it.
There, because the first script step is your arguments, right? So if you go up a little further, you see it's going to get arguments as a script parameter. Boom.
Okay.
Right?
Got it. Okay.
So then for every one of these that's parsed out here, you need to create a parameter over on the left.
Oh, lovely. Okay. New parameter, string, parameter name, and then I just call it like not first name.
Yep. And it's going to be a string, and you can describe it, the first name of the contact.
Okay.
We don't need the dollar in there.
We don't need then you can mark it as required because it's probably going to be required.
Required parameter. Yeah. Okay. Enum values.
Enums. I need to change this. Nobody knows what enums is. It's a value list.
Oh.
Enums is a fancy programmer word for it's short for enumeration, which is like really hoity-toity way of saying a list.
You're getting fancy on me.
Sorry, that's really bad. Like that shouldn't be enums. I need to change that.
Okay, so is that right? Is it just like a value list in general, or is it specifically like recognizing like a value list in FileMaker?
No, you're going to add values to it, but it's essentially like a value. So you would like if you had something like maybe title, you only wanted to recognize like 5 different titles.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So you would add CTO, mascot, hairstylist, whatever, as the only titles. And then when it's looking at the data you're giving it, it's gonna only pick from that list. That's the beauty of it. So first name, obviously, you don't want it to do that because you wouldn't want to list every first name there is in the world, right?
Got it.
So you don't want an enum for that. And so then you can hit create tool now. It won't. You got a lot more to do, but you still have more parameters to add, right?
Because right. Okay. Okay. Right. So it's not. Yes. Okay. That makes sense. We're tracking.
Yeah. So now you got to go through and create all the different ones. So you got about 7 or 8 here.
Case sensitive, Todd. Case sensitive on the last.
You're going to want it to match exactly the way you got it written in your parse there. So first underscore name, last underscore name, exactly that way.
Last name and the contact. If I don't add a description, will it flail? Probably. Right?
Again, if the name of the parameter is pretty good, it's probably fine. But
got it.
If the parameters are weird, you're going to want to give it the thing.
Email address usually. Boop. I have to add super whispers thing. I type pretty fast, but nothing is as fast as actually speaking.
Yep.
Using super.
What I think I need to make this screen go full size here because you can do a lot of parameters, and the window's a little cramped here. So I think I'm going to make this dialogue like a full screen dialogue so that you get more space to see what you're doing.
Phone. Well, it's one of the beauties of watching someone stumble their way through live who hasn't been working with this. They can go like, oh, this doesn't quite the experience that I wanted or envisioned primary. This is actually really good. Like I ended up I added these arguments by finding I didn't realize there was an add tool section for some reason. I added them in the actual table by going and making the JSON. Or rather, I asked OpenAI to add different parameters that I wanted, which was funny. Okay, primary street, main street of an address. It's probably like enough for now. What happens when it misses, like the script doesn't match? Will it just like skip past like a regular FileMaker script?
Yeah,
Or will
yeah.
it...
So again, the ones that you've marked required are the only ones that it is going to definitely try to populate. If the other ones are there, like, so if something is not marked required and it can parse it, it will. But if it can't find a good match, it's going to leave it empty.
Okay, got it.
So I think you've only got one marked required, which means it's only going to guarantee you that it's going to get a first name, right?
Okay, so I should probably add
you
the
may
last
want to
name
mark a few others, right?
Yes. What would also be pretty common? An email? I think an email is pretty universal. Well, I'll just call that those three is required. Okay. As a side note, RC, do you want me to keep going, or do we want to like have me like finish this bit off screen?
We can.
And wrap
Why don't
up
we see if we can get to work? Because
Okay.
by the end of tomorrow, the plan is that people like we're going slower with this, and we've kind of slowed Todd down or put handcuffs on him or something. But the goal through tomorrow is to get this completely. So if we need to round something off and make it a little nicer, we will. But we don't want to hide anything, right? Does that make sense?
Yes, zip code 5 digits.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's going to collect the information both from the description here and also from the LLM tag, right? Or
No, not the LLM. So the LLM tag is really not important for here because we're not asking this script. Basically, everything that's all that's happening here is we're telling the LLM, hey, just look in here in the text that's above this and extract the parameters from that text and then call this script. So it doesn't actually know anything about the FileMaker schema.
Okay.
Right?
Got it.
So these don't even have to match your field names. They can be anything. You're matching field names and making it actually work is done in the script.
Got it. Okay. Country, the address is located in USA, UK.
Okay.
And then title. So we could add the value list to actually, I think we have a value list for title.
Yeah, I think I want to add a value list as an option here, but I don't have it now. So you have to recreate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, I'll ignore that for the moment. Title, like CEO or CFO or realtor. I noticed a lot of realtor tags. Okay.
Okay.
And then a website. New title. Website. Yes. Oh, and then I added notes. Okay. Which I need. I'm missing. These have things you'll notice. I've discovered this the other day. Is if you forget to actually tag it in the LLM side of the database, it will not be able to find that.
When you're asking it to do a search, yes.
Okay.
When you're asking it to do a search, it won't be able to find it if you don't tag it. But this part here doesn't have anything to do with tagging. Actually, it doesn't even need to be a table that you've described in the DDL.
Yes.
That DDL is really only about the database query tool. I probably should be more specific about that. But that labeling and the DDL extraction, that's only about that one tool.
That makes sense. Okay. And then general random notes about the contact.
Okay, great.
Okay. And then we're good. I think we're good.
Okay.
Okay. So create tool. 12 parameters. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. Cool. Awesome.
Okay. Now, one more thing. Go back and open that up.
Okay. Edit.
And click edit. And then you can look at the tool schema if you want, just to see that's what actually got generated from all your typing, right? All that.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Okay. And so that is what the LLM actually sees is that. It sees that.
Got it.
Now,
okay.
output. There's one more thing you want to do because you're going to create a record.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, you would want at the end of this So you can do this. Default text is fine. It'll just tell you I created a record. Here's some of the data in the record. But if you want that little box that says I created a record, click here to see it. You want to choose a component. You're going to choose component display, and you're going to choose FileMaker record.
Ooh, nice.
Okay. Now that will only work if you go back and configure that navigate hook thing.
Which I haven't done yet.
Right.
Okay, got it.
But just this displays in the chat. When it's done, it'll display a little box that says I created the record. Click the link. Click this button to go see the record.
Okay,
right?
cool. That makes sense. Update tool.
And that's it.
Awesome. Okay.
Now
cool.
your chat, it should just work. You should just be able to go over there and
Actually, I'm just going to tell it to create records and see what happens.
create a record, say like, first name Joe, and see what it does.
Create a record, first name.
You want to say a contact, probably.
Oh, well, interesting. Okay, I'm going to try that, but I also want to see
because your tool is called create contact.
Yeah. First name Joe. But I am kind of curious what it'd say to the other one. So, thinking.
Oop.
Oh, it doesn't have the last name. So it's mad at me. Because it's first name and last name required.
Because they're required. There you go. So this is actually exactly the result you want.
Yes,
because
Galactic
you have said,
Overlord.
So here's the thing. Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I don't have an email. It wants the email.
So just add the email. So it actually just walk you through the process.
There we go.
Boom. Now it didn't pop a window here because you didn't do a new window. You just had to go and do the whole thing.
Yes. Okay. So but I would add that in the script, right? I just have it. Yeah. Okay. Got it. View. Yeah. Yeah. It's mad.
Yeah, because you didn't do that one hook thing that we went through.
Yes, what you're talking about. But I wanted to see that.
I think that's a really good example. So go back to that script, that chat for a second.
Yes.
So this is actually great because what it shows you is the tools are very smart. It says, you didn't give me enough info. I can't do this, dude. And then the beautiful thing is you don't have to start over and say, okay, create a contact with Joe and Wiggles, right? You just had to add Wiggles. And then it was like, well, that's great. Thank you for Wiggles, but I still need an email, right? So it actually walked you through the process of creating a contact properly.
Which is pretty cool, actually.
Which is pretty freaking cool.
That's really cool. That's awesome. Okay, cool. So
it didn't actually create the record. Is that where's our problem?
It did. I think it did actually create the record. If you go look at it.
Are we in the wrong table there? It's
accounts.
No.
Contacts. Interesting.
Well, we'll have to debug that script.
Yes.
Let's look in the chat here for a second. Yeah. So okay.
ID one.
It said record created successfully in the contacts ID 1. So let's look at your script. So there's a debugging somewhere in your script that's
okay. We're going to
we might have to debug the script itself, but
yes. Boop. Okay. This comes down to I wrote the script wrong is what this comes down to.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, something happened. So let's see. So you did do a new window and you opened the transaction, which I like to do because then if there's any failures, it'll just revert. But why did we get back a success? So let's keep going. Scroll down.
Did it actually run the script? Do we know it? Because I never saw a new window.
I didn't see a new window either.
I'm wondering if it ran this script at all.
Does the new window pause?
Oh, it's off window. Margaret, fix that, please.
Okay.
Just delete it. It'll do its own thing. That's fine.
Yes. Okay. Command save. Oh, that's why. Using layout unknown.
Right, because you copied and pasted the script in.
So it didn't know where to go. Yeah. Okay.
And so what happened there is the transaction just said, "I'm out of here, dude."
Yeah.
Create a new record.
Okay.
It is. Fine. So here's an interesting thing, though. Our script, the LLM tried to be very helpful and say that it worked when it didn't. So we got to be a little careful here. But let's see. So let's keep scrolling down and see if there's anything else that it got wrong.
Yes.
Close window, that should work. Then do we have a closed transaction anywhere?
Commit transaction.
So yeah, that should do it. And then just keep scrolling down. Go to object. I'm not sure what go to object. Oh, so go to object. Well, yeah. So that
would be the web viewer, right?
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's just to make sure the web viewer is still active when you close that window. That's all that does. Sure. And then if you look at the 67.
67. This
67.
one.
Yeah. What does
Yes.
that say? Table name. So you have to make sure it's the right table name.
TO5
Um,
contacts. Yes.
Is that what's being used by that layout, Margaret? The T.
Yeah. Yeah. It's TO5
So why do
contacts.
you also have a new window on 44? What's that for?
Oh, this was because I was adding a related note to the contact.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, that should work.
Okay,
Okay.
then new record.
So I
then
think
new
I think the
clue.
problem
Okay.
was I just simply didn't have the data
Oh,
entry
well,
layout
actually, you know
selected.
what though? You don't
Mhm.
need to do that. So when you're inside of a transaction, you can actually go to a different layout. It's fine.
Really?
Yeah. So when you go new window, so you're in your new window. Okay. So you want to actually show. Okay. So the question here is, do you want the new window or not? That's one question. Do you want to actually pause in the new window and let the user correct it or not?
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't look like you do here.
No, we don't. We only
Yeah.
want it to intervene if it like sees it's a duplicate or something weird like
Yeah,
that.
so you'd have to write the script to do that. But in this
Yeah.
case, what's happening is the window's opening up, it's doing its thing and closing.
Correct.
But you don't, inside of a transaction, you can move to another layout and keep going. It's going to be fine. You wouldn't necessarily need to do a new window. But
We
it
just
should have
we
worked
use it
anyway.
to we use it to preserve context. We're not worried about the transaction end of it. But yeah, that's why we.
But if it's all off, if it's all like hidden or whatever, it shouldn't have
Yeah.
worked. So
Yeah.
It wouldn't mess with the original. That's what he's saying, is that it wouldn't
Yeah.
mess with this contacts at all because it's inside of a transaction.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you're already in a different window. So you popped a new window first. You're in a new place.
Yeah. Yep,
That
yep.
window's going to disappear at the end. So who cares, right?
Yep.
But so I think that the bug was we didn't have the new window to the right layout, and so it barfed.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's see. Let's try it again. In
Save
fact, you
it.
can just go to that. You can just go to that same chat and say, "Hey, can you try to create this same contact again?" Just do that.
Hey, can you try to create? Okay, and then there's an actual ID you'll
There you
notice
go.
instead of just
So now
one.
go look.
There it is,
There
Joe
it is.
Wiggles, Orange at
Boom.
galacticoverlord.com.
So now whatever logic you want is in that script. You just do that, right?
Yes.
A nice thing is whenever you're doing this kind of stuff, a nice thing is to pop a new window. That way that you want the chat. You don't want to leave the chat.
Mm-hmm.
You want to keep the chat on its layout. But you can
Yes.
pop a new window either off screen or not. Typically, when you do something very fast, you don't even see the new window.
No.
You don't even see it.
Right. Yeah, we just do it for simplicity of programming, actually teaching people how to script. So yeah.
Yeah, and card windows are nice because they pop up if you want to have the human in the loop. The card window pops up and dims the background and gives you that nice, dialogue-y looking thing, and then that works great. You can also use card windows. Sometimes card windows are good. Like, let's say the script that you wanted to run actually took like 30 seconds for whatever reason. You might just want to say like processing while that's happening. So you would pop a new window. You'd go to that window. You'd start you just go to a layout that says processing, and then you do like freeze window, and then you do all your other steps, and then close window, and it would just say processing until it was done. So it's a nice way to show, hey, I'm doing stuff while it might take a while before it actually comes back.
So
right?
Margaret, to close the loop on this, and we're going to pick this up tomorrow, is that we need to be able to create the record. We created a tool. We notified the chat or that the tool is available to create a record. We're going to need that because we're going to give it a business card, and it's going to analyze a business card. Then it's going to call that tool to do the creation. Do I have
That's
this
right.
correct? Okay.
Yes.
That's right.
Though we
But
also
here's
use Go ahead.
Here's the beautiful thing is a business card is one way to get that data in there. But if you uploaded a CSV, just dragged a CSV onto that and said, create contacts one at a time from this list, it'll do that too.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You want to try your random thing, Margaret?
I was going to try. I was curious because how that works.
Yeah, do it
Yeah,
again.
see what happens. I think it'll try to do it like 5 times.
Contact. Okay.
It's chewing.
There it goes.
And you're watching it happen in the background.
Look at that. Look at them popping up on the screen.
There you go.
And then that little box, that confirmation box is on there because we had that. it was the part of the tool where you said show the FileMaker record.
That's right.
Yes, if I
That's
go
right.
to manage tools and I pop, you see this little like tag right there?
Turn that off just for fun. Just turn that
Okay.
off. And this,
Just-
the output, is it going to be?
Like if I
It's
just
going to
swap it-
be, it'll just be in a text box. It'll just tell you, but it won't give you a navigation button.
Margaret, create like 2 of them. Yeah, that's fine. Just
Okay.
create,
I have to
get
find
my-
my ProofChat window. Oh, I'm
Uh,
in the ProofChat window. I'm a
okay.
goofball. We're fine.
You're a proof
create-
ball. Is that what you said? A proof ball?
I said
Okay.
goofball, but
Okay.
proofball's funny.
Proof ball is actually a new super secret product.
So records, I don't know what records are going to do because it actually, so it took a shot that you want to create contact. And so that's all you're going to get back is that.
Got it.
Okay.
There you go.
And if you expose those, you'd see the data that came back. It would say, there it is.
Yes.
Right.
I like that it named them random.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
so now do you kind of see how, you know, basically once you configure the tools, you're now back in FileMaker land, do whatever you want. Right?
Yes.
Okay,
And,
so
and the beautiful thing is once you have a create contact tool, you can drag an image, you could drag it, you could take a picture, you could lay 10 business cards on the table, take a picture of all 10 business cards, drop it in there, and say, find the business cards on this image and create the contacts. It'll do it. Like, you don't have to then feed specifically the same input. You know, you could pick it for, it could be from a CSV file, it could be from an image, it could be from, you could copy an email thread and say, find all the contacts in this email thread, and it will do that. Like, you no longer have to write specific inputs for each of those different ways of getting data in there. The LLM is going to parse whatever you give it, find contacts, and create those contact records.
Yeah, that one's not going to work, Margaret. Hey, I do have so Tim and David are talking about on Discord. And David said there is a commit transaction, the view record from AI open or from AI open, the record in
FileMaker?
Yeah, I mean that's
Yes, it does. I have not fixed that bit yet because it's in here. If you is it in the configure navigate to record? Yeah, this bit, right?
No, he's talking about the commit record in your tool, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, go back to your script.
So in your tool script, you're using a transaction. Transaction's really useful here because if any part of that data is wrong, it's just going to bail on you, right? But you don't have to use a transaction if you don't want to. But I like to use transactions because they basically are like, if anything happens, don't do any of this, any of the parts between there.
So
right?
you won't have any like random half-finished floating contacts
Exactly.
around. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so for everyone, so if you're building this and testing it, I wouldn't use transactions because you want to see the evidence of the dead body where it dies.
Maybe, yeah.
But once you ship it to the customer, you don't want them creating dead bodies half big. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Yes. We have a really good stream. Hilariously, also with ProofGeist, Corin Walker came on and did a really amazing series on transactions.
Yeah.
So,
that was the good stuff. Yeah, he's an amazing guy.
Yep.
So
Yep. So you've now got really all the secrets. Like this is how you make it work.
Yeah.
You write FileMaker scripts, you configure them for tools, and then you can use the other things. Like one thing, just to close a loop on something I said before.
yes.
If you go and look at the configure chat tools, one more down, right?
Yes.
So if you look at this line 8, that's doing an execute SQL, and that is going to get back basically a list of all that JSON schema that displays there. If you wanted to, under some conditions, add another tool that you write your own JSON schema for, you could. In fact, you don't need to use our UI. If you wanted to just do all JSON schema, you could just get rid of this script step and configure the tools that you want right here. Right. So what this is doing is, right, this script step gets the tools that are configured from the UI that we set up. That's just going to be a JSON object. You could edit that JSON object. You could get rid of some tools. You could add additional tools. You could do whatever you want. That's going to be an advanced feature. You're going to have to understand how to write the JSON schema for tools. But once you know that, then you can dynamically toggle tools on and off as the chat is going.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds like a deep dive that we should do.
It's very deep, and it's not something you're going to encounter early on. But if you
No.
find yourself with 200 tools, you're going to want to be able to dynamically probably
Well,
toggle some of those on and off. And so you're going to have to get into this script and figure out how to do that.
that's
I
an
just wanted to
interesting
make the
discussion.
point again that for the edge cases, like what we try to do is we want to make it simple for you to get started with the UI. And
Mhm.
then if there's any advanced configuration, we give you an escape hatch as a script. And that script you can go in and monkey with. When you do that, you're going to have to learn more. Right? You're going to have to learn more, but it gives you ability to go beyond what the simple UI can do. And that way we kind of return the superpowers back to you as a developer and say, hey, go to town. Like you're going to have to learn some more, but once you've learned some more about how tools work, you can now dynamically configure tools on the fly, do it however you want, right? And that won't be something you'll have to deal with as you get in. So we don't want you to have to think about that right at the beginning. We just give you a script that when you're ready, when
Mhm.
when you've taken your first, when you're beyond your baby AI steps and you're becoming an advanced AI developer, you can get in here and still have all the power. And it's just a FileMaker script. So you're back in FileMaker land, your land of comfort and plenty, right?
Yes.
Super educational, everyone today. So we had a lot of comments and whatnot on the various threads, but people are absorbing this and it's going slower. And I think that it's the point where they're going to get this. People are getting it. So anyway, we're gonna come back tomorrow. We're gonna finish this. We're gonna do more questions. Once again, it slows Todd down. It probably drives him nuts, but this is what we
No, I love
need.
this stuff.
Well, we appreciate it. It's what we need for the community, for all of us to take our baby steps. Because if you watch Todd do it, you're like, this guy is so smart. I'm so intimidated. How could I ever do anything that he does? And so
I'm really not that smart. I don't know what to tell you.
he's very
It's-
humble, which is great. But the point is that whether you're smart or not, everyone perceives you to be brilliant. And we're like, oh my God, how do we ever even be half of Todd? If I could be half of Todd, I would be fabulously wealthy and successful. So how do we be half of Todd? And I'm being that seriously. So we slow him down.
Well,
We have the conversation. You folks ask questions. The live stream is here to help you. This is helping the community. Todd is here to help the community. I am here to help the community. I want all of you to go out and do AI solutions and make your customer solutions better. Your
That's right.
customers need great developers. They need you to be awesome and start doing some of these obvious AI things. You don't have to have a call you galactic overlord, but have fun.
This is really we're just beginning this new era. I hope by now with the live streams that we've done, I hope people are getting the sense that your jobs are not in jeopardy. You're going to have to learn some new things. You're going to have to learn how to work with these AI things, these large language models, and use some of these new capabilities. But the good news is that there's work to do. Like we have to learn how to do this, and this is how we create the next level of value for our companies or our customers. This is the way we do it.
Write that down.
Right?
How to create the next level of value.
The next level of value in the AI era. This is how we do it. And we can do it in FileMaker. It's totally possible.
Mhm.
And you don't have to run screaming to your boss and say, we have to get off of FileMaker. You just don't. It's fine. You can do AI stuff in FileMaker. This is how you start. You start with something like ProofChat. You start learning these concepts, tools, how to do parameters, how to think about how these AIs work, with how they're really good at figuring out your intent, what you're asking, and then how to couple that with your FileMaker coding skills to write the scripts that keep them in line and keep them doing what you want them to do, so they don't run around like a bunch of kindergartners with new toys.
Yep. New kindergartners, new toys. Sharp. Don't run with sharp scissors, everyone.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thank you. We'll be back tomorrow with some more action-packed basic AI for beginners and training wheels. Yes.
Yes. We're back tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, Margaret.
Thank you,
We're out of
everybody.
here.
Bye.
Bye.